Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, and I'm here with you today because I want to talk about the season that is upon us, and that is the dry, scaly, itchy skin season. And this is something that most people who have lived throughout the Midwest and the Northeast have certainly probably experienced. I know I used to when I lived in Michigan. And it was kind of a slow transition. You'd hit October and then into November, and then December hits, and you start to think to yourself, what in the world is going on with my skin? And what happens is now that we have less humidity in the air and we are using more of the forced heat inside, so whether you're driving in your car or if you're at home or at work and the furnace is on, this is a way that strips the skin of all of its natural moisture, which is a real problem because we have to have that moisture in our skin to really maintain its integrity. And I remember years ago where those winter months, it seemed like it didn't matter how much lotion I could apply, my skin was incredibly dry. So, what can we be doing about this? This is the time that you want to be proactive. So there's a couple of different ways to approach this. Number one, we can't just think topically. We know that that's what we see. So we see that our skin is dry and we want to apply something on. Not a bad idea. And of course, we want to include that. But we want to think a little bit deeper than that. We want to try and think about how we can hydrate our skin from the inside out. And this is where your omega 3 fatty acids and things like tocotrienols or natural vitamin E would be really wise to have on board during these drier months. So, when we talk about omega 3 fatty acids, we're talking about things such as fish oil or krill oil or flaxseed if you prefer a vegetarian option. Or you can also go with DHA, which is just one component of an omega 3 fatty acid. So, there's three different omega 3s. You have the EPA, DHA, and ALA. The ALA is coming from plant based sources. So, during the winter months, it's wise to not only try to incorporate higher amounts of omega 3 fatty acids into your diet. So maybe you're adding in an extra scoop of flax into your food every single day. Or perhaps you're having more frequent salmon throughout your week. But we also have to include supplemental omega 3 fatty acids. So, luckily for you, we have many different options. You can look at our website, invitehealth.com, and you can see that we have a really wonderful fish oil, and it goes through this double distillation process to strip it from any potential impurity. And that's really important nowadays because we know that when it comes to clean supplementation, we want to really focus in on where these fish is actually sourced from and how it is actually processed. So we want to be having the cleanest source oil. And this is what is lovely about our fish oil is that it goes through this double distillation to remove any potential impurities that the tiny little fish come across throughout their life. So when we are using our fish oil, we're incorporating in those omega 3s, which we know do so much in terms of targeting inflammation throughout the body, but also help with that hydration, which is really important during the winter months. And then we can also include things like natural vitamin E or tocotrienols. Now, our tocotrienol formulation also contains pine bark extract, so you're getting really a double shot of antioxidants because the pine bark extract is a really strong way to fend off oxidative stress. And so when the skin is losing its moisture barrier in the winter, we want to make sure that we have additional antioxidants on hand to be able to fend off anything that could potentially harm our skin. So we always have to think about that. So we have natural vitamin E, we have omega 3 fatty acids, and we have the tocotrienols. Now, what tocotrienols, it's a particular type of vitamin E. So vitamin E comes in two families. You have the tocopherols and you have your tocotrienols. The tocotrienols are kind of the supercharged antioxidant version of your vitamin E. And so this is why it's very beneficial when we look at things such as hair health, when we look at skin health, but also when we look at cardiovascular health and targeting things such as cholesterol, making sure that your cholesterol does not become problematic when it is oxidized. So we don't like oxidized cholesterol particles circulating throughout our body, we know that tocotrienols are very, very targeted towards that oxidation process. So, if you are incorporating in tocotrienols in the winter to not only support the hydration and the health of your skin, it is also going to be yielding you that benefit when it comes to the cardiovascular system as well. Now we can also think about what we can be doing topically. So we have our Body Silk Lotion. This is a really good option. But one thing that I often like to tell people about is during the winter, sometimes you really want to have a heavier type of a cream that you can apply. So we have our protective hand cream. And even though it says hand cream, this does not mean that you can't apply it to your face or to your arms or to your legs. So this is something that I definitely encourage people to check out. It is really, really clean. So there's no parabens, no sulfates, no alcohols, no harmful chemicals. It's utilizing things from nature. It actually has a triple wine blend in this. So it has Chardonnay, Merlot, and Cabernet. So it may sound odd, but we know that those wines really give a whole lot of skin health support when it comes to their antioxidants. So when we think about things like resveratrol, for example, we know that resveratrol has always been touted as the anti-aging supplement, and there is a reason for that. We know the power of the trans resveratrol is to help with cellular longevity. So when we talk about skin health, by having that blend of Merlot, Chardonnay, and Cabernet, we are applying topically that cellular longevity factor, which is really, really important. This also has green tea in it, and it has grapeseed oil, and we have aloe, we have vitamin E. So we're putting all of these wonderful nourishing nutrients onto our skin, which is not going to create an issue in terms of chemical exposure because we do not have chemicals in our formulation. So this is kind of a 1-2 approach to dealing with the dry skin that the winter months can bring on. So we have to change up our diet, make sure that we include a good amount of omega 3 fatty acids from whatever source, whether that's flax, chia, from having things like salmon, for example. We also want to make sure that we are supplementing with omega 3. So, fish oil, krill oil, and flax. These are your options. And then we want to also think about things like natural vitamin E or the tocotrienol with pine bark extract. And finally, we want to make sure that we focus topically on the skin. And I certainly advise the protective hand cream during the winter months because it's really incredibly nourishing and it will help to support your skin. And and we know that this happens. We start to see the trend. And I remember I used to talk to people who would call the store, and it would be in January, and say, oh, my skin is really, really dry. And I'd say, well, are you taking more fish oil right now? No, I haven't changed anything from my normal routine. I would say, well, take an extra fish oil and make sure that you're also utilizing that protective hand cream on your skin as well. And the difference is really, really remarkable. So they're just simple changes that you can make, but they can make a world of difference to your dry, scaly, and itchy skin. So I will be back with you in a few more days to talk about more wonderful formulations that we have available for you at Invite Health. Thank you so very much.